But first, let's get to David. You've been poring over the 1GS prospectus. Give me your thoughts. And you've heard the full interview just now too. What do you think of this one? The first for the year.
I didn't hear the full interview. Blame Flo for that, but
Yes.
no, it's good to see that a company that has gone through the 10 years of growth, as I take that major step forward to come to the JSE. You know, these young startup businesses are seeing the value of using the equity markets to facilitate their runway towards higher growth. It's a interesting offer. Still haven't gone through everything because I've gone through the MD&A and other single set of prospectus, but in terms of the audited financials and the first quarter financials, I haven't gone through in depth as yet. That's my specialty. But it's an interesting concept that is a well kept secret, because before One Great Studio came out in the papers a couple of months ago, I didn't even know about them. But that's a bit of being a specialized niche business. You work and just keep building yourself. So it's interesting to see what their plans will be when they get listed, considering this is an all or none offer, and just to see how the feedback will be from investors over these next call it what, almost 3 weeks to the offer actually opening, because he came out on Friday, August 11, is opening until August 28th, so like 17 days.
I'm glad they're actually giving us time to digest the prospectus and to get some reviews in, because many times these hours drop and it's like tomorrow it opens, or in a couple of days it opens.
In a week.
You don't have any time to review anything. You don't even have time for brokers to send out their recommendations before it opens.
Well, the thing is that, because FSC doesn't respond much to anything at all. I remember that we were discussing the issue of guideline changes last time.
Mm-hmm.
And remember that the 3-day minimum was one of the considerations as well. So, we're not sure if that was a potential impact in terms of this wider time window, but it's a good thing. Persons get to appreciate what the business does and understand the business, because Jamaica is still getting attracted or used to these non-traditional businesses, because for us, what we see as traditional businesses are tangible businesses selling a general good, and it's still a service like we're seeing with One Great Studio right now. We didn't know that for example, they did Barita and Canopy's social media pages, have Beryllium and Jamaica Brothers as clients, and they have done pretty well, which is a great business, and keeping the margin stable while being a digitally led first business. And considering the expansion in terms of the rest of the world, they have some runway that is pretty strong, considering that they don't need to have a physical space and can just grow in perpetuity as clients and demand come in.
Yeah, I'm glad you're mentioning that, this is a diversification for the stock exchange. So we're seeing different types of companies, non-traditional companies. You also mentioned something that I forgot to ask them about. So thanks for bringing it up. This is an all or nothing offer, meaning if 1GS doesn't raise the full 333 million, they are not going to list. So it's either they raise everything they set out to raise, or they're just not going to bother with the whole IPO process. How risky is that, David, for something this size?
Well, it was up to based on what I read from the prospectus, it was in the recommendation of the directors, for all or none. It seems that the directors are pretty confident that the company will exceed this target. But in all honesty, it's not necessarily impossible that they will meet that target. We're talking about a market that is still IPO hungry. For some persons, when they see the words IPO, they just throw any money at it. Because I talked to somebody as a rookie trader, and they said one prior IPO last year, a person applied more than 100 plus times just because they thought they get its allocation. So I wouldn't be surprised, considering the longer timeline for the opening as well, for them to actually exceed that particular marker they've set of $338 million. It's a pretty bold stance. I wish them all the best, and just let's look forward to see the future offers coming in short order, because the last IPO would have been Image Plus, which would have closed in December, listed in January. Then we had, the unfortunate events of SSL in January, and we've just had, so many different things coming out every second. So hopefully other companies, decide to say, hey, we are going to go forward and grow. Let's grow even in spite of the current interest rates levels and just step forward.
I think a lot of people will be watching the performance of this IPO.
It's a litmus test. It's a litmus test, Kalilah.
It absolutely is. There's so many companies that have their processes in train, ready to list, but they've just been holding, just waiting to see what the market look like. And One GS is that brave soldier.
And I remember that you also have the 138 APO later this year. We were supposed to have the AS spread and cross listing. And there's just so many offers that were spoken about last year that should have come to market already, but they haven't come through as yet. JamT says they're planning to list their Caribbean Dream Foods after the October 1, when new business starts up officially. And there were just a range of other offers I can't remember to put my head that were supposed to come public this year, but different events have occurred. We're in August, 8th month of the year. Let us see how many IPOs do come forward, albeit any further interest increases, by the BOJ in respect, of inflation levels and other events in the background.
So some interesting comments here from our viewers. Philip says, "That risky. Barita will buy it. Small offer." Sean says, "One interested investor from TJH can cover that IPO." And he adds that these tech companies are so underrated and undervalued in Jamaica. And then Strong Link adding that the company is strong and flushed with cash. So in perspective, 338 million JMD is only about 2 million USD. It's not massive.
It's a hambani.
Yeah.
So the chances of them not making it, I think, are slim. I do think they'll make it. I don't think it's a huge risk for them.
A lot of cash is parked up in the Kalilah.
What's that?
A lot of cash is parked up waiting for an IPO, so persons are just raring to just throw something at an IPO.
Excitement is there. Yeah.
So I think we will know how much excitement is there when we see how much oversubscribed it actually is.
Right.
So it's not to me, it's not a matter of it being oversubscribed, it's by how much. So how much interest is actually out there for an IPO right now. That will be the number for me to look at.